Hey guys, my name is Zach. Welcome to The Joy of Hobbying. Today we're working on a 1/60th scale VF-1J by Yamato Toys. We're going to fix a very common issue in the shoulder joint, and the issue is the plastic becomes brittle over time, and the joint here, you can see it snaps. This is a swivel hinge that's part of the transformation feature, and fortunately though, there is parts available on Shapeways. These are not licensed parts, they are third party, but the print quality is excellent and it fits perfectly into the existing figure. You want to search this right here on Shapeways on the VF shop, and they're about $25 plus shipping. Definitely a reasonable price for the quality that you get. You're also going to need a precision Phillips head screwdriver. I recommend getting one that's magnetic. You'll also want a pair of pliers. Needle nose is great, but basically something to help pull the pin out. And then I used a clamp like this. I recommend it personally. I don't know that it's necessarily 100% required, but it did help out in the fix, as you can see. So we'll start here on the bottom of the craft with the variable tech fighter upside down. We're going to start removing some screws on the underside. There's 3 screws you want to remove. And there's Dean showing us the particular part that's broken. You can see the arm is actually completely separated from the craft because of the plastic there. I recommend, if you're working with small parts like this, get a piece of paper, get some double-sided tape, and basically put all the screws in order as you work on it. Obviously, we took video of the whole project, but I think it's good to, kind of know where things are. And some things like this, the screws may be different sizes and you don't want to mess anything up reassembling it, and you also don't want to have extra pieces when you're done, right? Sometimes I do put screws in like a little bowl or something like that, but with this project I wanted to keep everything together in the order that I removed it, and so this worked a little better for me. With the third screw removed, we'll then turn the craft upside down, or I guess right side up, and we're gonna start taking off this back section here. The back section is actually it's actually just clips on. Dean's gonna help me remove it right there, and once you remove that, you'll then kind of like break the craft in half. You're not really breaking it, but you're just kind of folding it in half, and then that will give you access to 2 screws, one on the left arm, one on the right arm. And when you remove those, you'll get the screw and a little white cap, and then that's what holds the actual arm into the craft itself. And at that point, the arms are basically separated from the body. You're going to obviously do that on both sides. You're then going to pull the shoulder pads up off the arm itself, and those are just tabbed in, and it's very easy to remove. And then you'll have 2 screws underneath that shoulder pad that you're going to remove. And once you remove those, you're able to pry the arm open slightly, and then you'll then have access to the full assembly, and then you'll start to remove the pin. Now, the pin is in there pretty good. I actually used a nail to kind of start it, and then I used, in this case, tweezers to push it back in. You'll then take the 3D printed parts, and I used a clamp to push the old pin into the 3D printed parts. I honestly don't think I could have done this without the clamp. I mentioned it's optional, but to be honest, I could not get that fucking pin in there. On Dean's shoulder, on one of his shoulders, he had a small crack, so I'm adding just a little bit of Tamiya cement just to maybe fix it up just a little bit. I don't know if this will actually work, but it's something that I wanted to try before going into super glue. But you'll see, I'll hold it there for a few moments, and I do believe it actually did help just a little bit. Next up, we will begin the reassembly, and what that involves is holding the arms underneath the craft, and then you're going to put the white cylindrical thing in the arm socket. You can see Dean showing there, and then you'll get the screw, put the screw into the cylindrical cap, and then you're going to screw the arm in. The 3D printed plastic, I don't know if there's actually threads inside, but it took the screw perfectly. It's very firm in there. This has been a part that's been available on Shapeways for quite a while, and a lot of people have done this mod. And you can see once I get it into there, just doing a quick test articulation, and it works perfectly fine. You'll repeat this process, of course, on the next side. of the arm. And here I'm just getting it nice and tight. The one thing is I definitely wouldn't over tighten this. I wasn't that familiar with how firm the articulation should be. So every few moments I'd hand it off to Dean and have him test the tightness of the joint to see if it's to his liking. Obviously here I'm going and putting on that second arm, again with the arm first, then the pin, or I guess like the little clip holder, and then the screw. And it is something that's a little difficult to get everything situated, but once you line it up and you do that first quarter turn, everything kind of catches. And it was something that I wasn't sure if I was doing it right, because that part is on a little bit of a slope. But once it's tight, you know, I showed it to Dean, and he confirmed that it is as it should be. And yeah, I mean, this 3D printed plastic, it's the right color. You know, it's a little textured, but I actually think that works to its advantage, and it blends in really nicely. You can see there on the bottom, those are the parts that we were screwing into, and they have a little bit of a locking mechanism that allows the arms to move forward and back. I believe this is part of the transformation function. And I think in this case, one of these was a little loose, so I just went and tightened it up just a little bit. Here we are reassembling the craft. So placing this, I believe this is like an engine back on. We'll lock that in. Very easy to do there, just snaps on the back. And then basically it's just those last 3 screws. So the 2 that are underneath the arms, which we access from the bottom, and these 3 screws hold the craft together. And then there's one more screw that's on the other side, and then one screw that's on the, I guess you'd say like the bottom section of the craft. And the nice thing about this, I know I wasn't sure going into it if the screws would be the same size or different sizes. Everything seemed to be, you know, as far as the sections go, seemed to be the same size. And I just used the one screw, the one bit rather, for the entire operation. I would say the total time on this mod took probably about maybe 10 minutes of working time, but maybe about 30 minutes of real time of just like trying to find tools around the house and trying to get those damn pins seated into the swivel hinge. You know, really once we got the method down, it was pretty easy. And here I am just doing the final touches on tightening everything, and here it is in all its glory. The Yamato 160th VF-1J, beautiful, beautiful figure, and I'm glad that we fixed that issue. Now Dean can enjoy it as a part of his collection. Thanks for watching. Catch you guys in the next video.
High five. We fucking did it.